Hey everybody, this is Phoenix Down, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In the last episode, we achieved the pinnacle of happiness by donating rupees to the fairy goddess over at the Pond of Happiness, and now we have completely maxed out our capacity of bombs and arrows. In today's episode, we are going to tackle the 5th dungeon of the Dark World, the Ice Palace. And during my practice runs, I am beginning to think I was a little too hard on the Skull Woods, the way I talked about that dungeon. This dungeon, in my opinion, is actually considerably worse. Namely because we have to deal with everyone's favorite element of ice areas, ice floor physics. Anyway, I want the flame rod equipped because if you talk to Zelda, I'm assuming this is Zelda talking to you, the magic flames will protect us inside this icy dungeon. So it's good to know, but the door is shut. How are we supposed to progress? Well, if you step over here, whoa, this ice statue guy is coming after me. But if you blast him with the fire rod, he melts. These are called freezors. So we'll be dealing with them plenty of times. They never drop items. Anyway, speaking of dropping items, defeat that bottom blue berry will get you the key leading to the next door. But yeah, you see we got lots of slipping and sliding going on. I'm doing just a little circuit. You know, just doing some ice skating. Don't mind me. Now on this floor, we want to just step on this pressure plate. We got Zoles popping out of the floor, but we're not too worried about them. Compared to some of the enemies we'll find here, those guys are small potatoes. They're small fries. And in this room, we have another new enemy, the Pingators. It's kind of like Terminator and Penguin put together, but we're going to cast Bombos to wipe out these guys since there's so many of them, and it takes more than one sword strike to destroy them. But cast Bombos, they all set on fire. And here we get the compass, so now we can pinpoint the dungeon's evil master. And oftentimes when you set enemies on fire, they may drop big magic jars to replenish your magic meter. Definitely comes in handy. But yeah, I think this is the first dungeon where we get the compass before the map. Anyway, we have some more Pingators, so let's cast Bombos once again. I know it's a bit of a cheap way to take care of these guys, but this dungeon's tough enough, so I'll take it. You might have also noticed that a puff of smoke erupted out of that skull over here. That's because if you did not cast Bombos, there would be a one of those swirly yellow orb things that transform you into a bunny underneath it, but if you cast it before it moves, you can destroy it. The same is true if you're quick enough, you can actually sprinkle magic powder on it and turn it into a fairy. I've only seen that happen in speedruns. But anyway, as you can see, we cannot progress over here. There's a chest there that has something really nice in it, but we can't get to it yet. So we're gonna have to go back the way we came. Line ourselves up with this. Oh crap. Whew. I don't want to step on the button a second time because it will close the doors on me again. So let's progress onwards. Now we're going to head up this path to the north. And we have some berries to watch out for. Flip that switch. I'm going to drop a bomb by that switch. Watch out for the berries. I want to lower the platform so I can reach this bombable portion of the floor and drop down here. So we're on basement number 2. Now if we come, whoa, what the? Well, we have a new enemy, the Skeleton Knights, the Stalfos Knights. Blow them up with a well-placed bomb, and here, I'm assuming again this is Zelda talking to us, we cannot destroy the Skeleton Knight with a sword alone. So when he collapses, he is vulnerable to another weapon, namely the bombs. So if you're having trouble, you haven't quite figured out what to do with those guys, that's basically the key right there. Just blast them with bombs after they crumble. So now let's head down this way, and we've got a conveyor belt with spikes, of course. Yeah, the floor will change directions periodically. Ah, nuts, I took damage. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the hook shot because I don't want to risk getting zapped by the berry. And we got a key, and these weird black things crawling out of the holes. Ah, crap, I can't tell which direction the floor is shifting. Okay, I got the key, so I'm going to go out through this door down here. Now, there is a speedrunning tactic where if you have this floor raised, there's a lot of backtracking in the Ice Palace. I'm just going to tell you that right now. If you've never played the game before, you're going to be seeing some rooms like 2, 3, sometimes if you make a wrong turn, even 4 times. Yeah, it's kind of poor dungeon design in that on the developer's part on this one. But there is a speedrunning tactic where if you have these blocks raised and use like the bomb Pegasus boots dash jump glitch, or whatever you want to call it, technique, you can actually bypass it and save yourself quite a bit of backtracking. Anyway, with the hook shot, you can actually pass through fire bars if you are traveling to another object, so that comes in handy. We have a pressure plate to go back the way we came, but oh well. I was hoping they would drop some hearts. Maybe there's one down here. Nope, just a magic pouch. So let's go down another level. Basement number 3. Now, another way to deal with Pengators, or Pengators, or whatever they're called, is they die in one hit from the hook shot. So if they're in a good line like that one, we can wipe them out easily. And we have a thwomp wannabe over here. Do not bother going in the room that he's blocking. That is somewhat of a trap. If you go in that room, you are forced to drop down to the next level because the floor will start collapsing, like the room with the Titan mitts over in the Thieves' Den, or the Thieves' Hideout in the Village of Outcasts. So just ignore that room. We'll make it to that same chamber it leads to later anyway. Once again, we have a fire bar. You can use the Pegasus boots to help slow yourself down while you're spinning around. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the fire rod once again. Blast these freezors. You know, surely his power level's above 9,000. But anyway, we got some bombs. Now we can blow a hole in the wall, the floor over here, but it won't do us any good right now. So let's just drop down this hole instead. Because dropping down on the other side leads to the big chest, but we do not have the big key, so there's no point in doing that. And the floor will just repair itself the next time we're there anyway. But yeah, you'll notice that this yeah, take that guy. That if we had done that one speedrunning glitch, this elevated platforms would be lowered right now, and we can push this block into that pit, and that will basically enable us to reach the boss, assuming we had the big key. It's a very good time saver, but it is not something I have any experience dealing. Alright, I transformed that anti-fairy into a regular fairy. And I'm gonna hit this switch and go through this bottom door. Alright. So far so good. It's no major screw-ups yet, but that's possible to change. Alright, whew. Yeah, that's a bit risky. It's easy to fall into that pit there. I'm gonna use my sword beams to take out the beeries, and now they're dropping hearts, of course. Pick up that skull, hit this switch, and now we got another little key. So let's go up to the next floor. Now here, these blocks, this one has arrows. Do not pick up the second skull. It has that little swirly thing that turns you into a bunny in it. That'll chase you. Just bypass all the enemies. You could easily navigate around them without taking a hit. And we got more Penguitors. This is the room that trap floor I mentioned before will send you to if you're not careful. You could go through, there's a switch under one of these skulls to open that door, but we don't want to go that way just yet. Instead, let's go up here. Talk to this communication tablet. Do not use all of your magic power if you do not possess the medicine of magic. So now let's get ready to go into the depths of this dungeon. So yeah, and there's also another way. One of my commenters posted on a video just the other day that a trick that I had completely forgotten about. That if you turn enemies into ice with the ice rod and then break them with the magic hammer, there is a very high likelihood that you will get magic jars, particularly the big full MP restoring kind. So that's a good way to work around running low on MP. I mean, it doesn't help in boss battles, but it can make a big difference over the course of the dungeon. Alright, trying to jump across that expanse. There we go. Alright, let's just go. I don't need to wipe out every single enemy I come across. Now, if you move fast enough, you can avoid all of these flop wannabe things. I forget their name. I'll post that in the video description or on the screen or whatever. Got some more beeries. Jump across using the hook shot. Flip that switch, or push that switch, and that treasure chest appears, but we'll worry about that later because we want to go upstairs again, because there's more to collect up this way. And we got another skeleton knight, another style knight. So let's blast him with a bomb. Ooh, whoops. Ah, crap, I was too close. Yeah, unlike in the original Legend of Zelda, you do take damage from your own bombs. Oops, swirly ball thing. Let's just go over here, pick up this key, pound down the moles, take that skeleton dude. Plant the bomb there. pull that guy's tongue to open up doors. That's kind of a creepy mechanic, I have to say. Replenish my health, and let's see what's in this chest. We got the map. Alright, so now we can finally see the rest of the dungeon. We've seen most of it already, but may as well take a look. Wow, this place has 7 basement levels. Yeah, this place is pretty deep. It looks so much smaller on the outside, that's for sure. It's definitely bigger on the inside. So let's go for this door before we head back downstairs. And take these stairs. Alright, we're finally at the other end where that chest we couldn't reach before is. And inside it is the big key, the master key of the dungeon. So alright. Now you can push these blocks from this side to go back where we were earlier, but I actually find it's faster to just go back the way we just came instead. Plus there's that chest we didn't pick up before. I believe that has another key that we're going to need to get through the entire dungeon. It'll cost us more time to take that shorter route right there. So alright, pull up this skull, flip that switch again. Pull out the hookshot and jump across the spikes. Or you can use like the Kana Byrna or whatever, and or the magic cape to get across as well. So let's open this door. And you might remember this room. We've been here before. This is where that locked door would take you. So we've seen this room before. Yeah, this is around the point where we start revisiting a lot of familiar spaces. Now it's time to blast a hole in this floor right here. So just stay out of the range of the explosion and drop into the pit. And we now have access to the dungeon item, the blue mail. This armor reduces the damage that you take from enemies. It basically cuts it in half and it changes your look. I really like Link's look in the blue mail. I think it's my favorite sprite for him in this game. I like the yellow hat, it's like a nice touch. Like, I'm not overly crazy about that color normally, but it works well in this look. Anyway, we got another freeze ore about to animate, so let's melt him once again. And this time, since the switches are changed again, we can open up this door. Well, I guess it didn't change again, that's just how it was before. Ah, crap. It's down night. Okay, I'm going to go downstairs now. Just ignore the enemies. I don't need those. Got an anti-fairy. I don't need to worry about him. Now, in this room, there's a switch here, but it's a pressure one. You need to have some kind of block to hold that down. If you sequence braked in the Super Nintendo version and got the dungeon item from from the 6th Dark World dungeon over in Misery Mire, you can actually bypass this whole next section of the dungeon by simply using that item to trigger that switch and make it to the boss. Unfortunately, we did not sequence break, so we have to take this door to the side, flip that switch, and now go back the way we came. Once again, the elevation of the blocks has shifted. If you're so inclined and you're in desperate need of fairies, you can jump down these pits right here to your left and right, and that'll drop you down to a hidden fairy fountain at the bottom of the dungeon, or at least at a different level of the dungeon. But yeah, now that these blocks are gone, you can push these down, but you can't push this one. And on the other side, it's the lower one that can be pushed, and that's the one we really need. So once again, we have to revisit some familiar territory, transform that anti-fairy into a regular one. Let this guy go through. And I need to, once again, flip that switch, or push that button. Take that. Yeah, the hookshot is your friend in this dungeon, definitely. And my favorite room in a dungeon. This nuts! I knew that first time went way too smoothly. This had to happen. So let's slide down this way. Go up. Come on, Link. Okay, you can do it. Yes, alright. Whew. Yeah, Link skates about as well as I do on actual ice, so I have no reason to criticize him for slipping and sliding the way he does. So yeah, this is what I meant by all the backtracking that happens in this dungeon. Okay, but this time, instead of going all the way around before like we did that other time, we can just push this button as soon as I can get Link to get on it. So let's ignore the Pingator and go through here. Alright. And once again, drop down the hole. We're just about done with the dungeon now. Back into treasure room. And here we go. Let's push this block and just jump in the pit. So now we're on top of this. This trick, the trick I mentioned before about using the dungeon item from level 6, or you know what I mean. You know, Dark World Dungeon 6. You know, they fixed that trick in the Game Boy Advance version of the game. You cannot utilize that dungeon item to your advantage in this case. They changed the layout of the room slightly to make it impossible to work. But anyway, if we pick up this block, we have the entrance to the boss room of level 5, or Dungeon 5, the Ice Palace. We have Cold Stare. Now, there are two ways you can start this battle with. You can either spam Fire Rod Blast at him to melt the ice, or you can cast Bombos once. It's a far more MP cost-efficient method. So doing this one single cast of Bombos will melt that ice. Now we want to pull out the Fire Rod. And unfortunately, ice is falling from the ceiling, and it's very painful. So we gotta dodge the ice that's falling. Alright, that's one eye down. Take that. Getting caught in a moment here. Alright, that's two Cold Stare eyeballs down, and that's the third one. Alright, victory is ours. So let's pick up our heart container. And we collected the 5th maiden. Victory is ours. We saved the day once again. I made that dungeon look a little bit easier than it actually is. I mean, if you play the game enough, you know, any of the dungeons can feel easy. But that went so much smoother than my practice run. I am glad I spent the extra time to really get a feel for this place. Anyway, Phoenix, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. They say the Hylia people controlled mysterious powers, as did the 7 wise men. But the blood of the Hylia has become thin over time. We who carry the blood of the 7 wise men do not possess strong power anymore either. Our powers will increase if we mix the courage of the knights with the wisdom of the wise men. Only a short time remains until the gate to at the castle linking the worlds opens completely. If you defeat Ganon, this world will vanish and the Triforce will wait for a new holder. I believe in you. Good luck. And yes, I do understand. So may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. Victory is ours. We've got a snazzy new suit. And we got 5 dungeons down, and I am actually just going to take this time to just jump right back to the light world, because I don't want to deal with those guys. I don't want that guy to steal my shield. Uh-oh. Whew, okay. Alright guys, well next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, we're gonna head on over to the 6th dungeon of the Dark World, over in Misery Mire. But there's no entrance and no way to escape either, so how do we even get into that area? We're gonna have to find it out next time. So this has been Phoenix Down, and I will see you guys then. Away!